From inside the Royal Crown Gymnasium here, game number 2 about to get underway between the undefeated 3-0 two-time defending champion of the OSBA Royal Crown Lions, led, of course, by the one, the only, Justice Hazley.
He is an unbelievable playmaker. That's a given, and we saw that going into the fall showcase, the recent Jamal Murray homecoming showcase. He is the definition of ready for the next level kind of player. So something that I really want to see from him in today's game is the ability just to kind of keep his composure. We saw last time that he was getting into a little bit of foul trouble, and that can hinder any great player, but his playmaking, his ability to go, I'm interested to see the lob connection with Ice Tolman Monroe, the 7-foot giant coming all the way from Australia. So that'll be an interesting thing. I'm hoping he can apply into this game here.
Meanwhile, Bill Crothers thirsty for a win, a tightly contested loss to one of the top teams in the OSBA, William Academy. Jacob McGregor was shooting the lights out from 3 in that game.
36 points against arguably one of the top contenders in the league. And again, it was a loss, but it doesn't show to his ability to push through conflict, to be able to really show up for his team when necessary. And he's a true playmaker. So something that I really want to kind of see between these two guys going out is who's going to show out on top, who's going to be the better playmaker for their team, and who's really going to lead their team to a victory here in this game.
We're expecting a battle of the point guards, 7 o'clock tip-off between the Royal Crown Lions and Bill Crothers men's coming up shortly. Game 2 of the doubleheader on Tuesday night, OSBA East underway. Bill Crothers in the black uniforms, moving from left to right on your screens. They are going to start with Liam Shaw, Miles Hamilton, Jacob McGregor, Moses Anvari, and Joshua Stevens. First shot from Stevens, up And there's a push in the back, foul already on Xavier Ice-Toman-Monroe, one of the starting 5 for the Royal Crown Lions. He joins Yana Feely, Cairo Perry, Sartaj Bangu, and of course, Justice Hazley in the starting rotation.
We kind of coined it as the battle of the point guards to start this game, and I think rightfully so. Both of them have the capability to truly become playmakers when necessary, but with that being said, they can be playmakers while still showing up on the stat sheet for their team, so it'll be a tight battle to say the least.
Hazley misses on the left-handed scoop. And Hamilton takes it over the timeline. Most recently in the Platinum Circuit, Season 4, Session 1, Isaiah Hamilton, 24-point performance. Miles Hamilton scratched that. Late in the shot clock, Jacob McGregor dishes. Liam Shaw, topside 3, side iron, rebounded by Hamilton. McGregor gets his defender in the air, moves downhill. Mid-range, yes, right over Cairo Perry.
Beautiful fight through contact there from McGregor. Fantastic floater finish.
The Lions looking to respond. Bangu up top. Afili. Down low. Ice-Toman-Monroe. Bangu, 3 is up. Rips in. The 3's the response for the 2. If you're going to exchange 3 for 2s, you got to knock down a high percentage of them.
A lot of bumping going on there. Ice-Toman-Monroe is seemingly just trying to get position. A lot of physicality down low.
Josh Stevens. No, Bangu with the rebound. Yana Feely traipsing up the right-hand side, picked up by Stevens. Monroe wants it inside, guarded by Shaw. The double comes. Monroe stays patient and is on the board for 2.
Beautiful finish, and I know you always say this, JJ. Once you have it high, keep it high, and then it's an easier finish to the net. Great job there for Ice-Toman-Monroe.
Here's Moses Anvari, who dishes it to McGregor for 3. No. Bangu, another defensive rebound. Ahead to Hazley on the far side. Hazley, jab steps, settling it back down. Hazley with the first step, baseline, but gives it away right to Anvari. And the Colts are on the run. Hamilton jumps, finds McGregor, blocked by Afili. Bangu ahead to Hazley, who is cheating the pack. Bangu gets it back, rewarded for running the court, unable to keep it in, bouncing it out of bounds.
That was a good play. The best you could have done in that situation, because he's kind of coming down at such a high rate of speed, you can't really get a true position. So what the best thing that the Colts could have done was position themselves at kind of an off-center position so they could kind of get the tip there.
McGregor now over the timeline. Zane Sicanetta checks in for Josh Stevens. And Hamilton has it at the top. Hamilton working on Bangu. Keeps, kicks to the corner. McGregor, floater, yes. You can hear the head coach of the Colts imploring his team to get under that screen. Creating more space. The 3 is up from Hazley, and it's good.
That's the problem when you have such a strong shooter as Hazley on the other team, is that the second he's a step off of that screen, he doesn't need much space to get the shot off.
McGregor gets the step, kicks it out. Extra pass, Shaw from the top side again. That one finds the bottom.
Gone be the days where big man couldn't shoot 3s. I think it's become more consistent that they have to nowadays.
Yeah, big men have to rebound, play in the paint, shoot 3s, and then guards need to do everything.
More of a struggle, I think, for everybody.
Hazley was the safety up top by the logo. 1-2 step and kick into the corner. Henry finds the bottom.
Consistency from both sides of the floor right now from both teams. It's honestly going to come down to what team can make the fewer mistakes down the stretch.
McGregor back iron. Rebounded by Sicanetta. And Vari trying to back down Bangu. Travel called. That's a turnover, and that's a quick timeout for Bill Crothers as they want some time to talk over the start of their game. Head coach not happy with the lack of motion on the offensive end.
They were very stagnant. It was so McGregor there was a long three from the corner that he had, got the ball back, and then everyone's just looking at him and didn't decide to run anything, call anything, do anything. To be fair, that is on the rest of the team too to kind of get something in motion, even if it's just the staple of basketball, which is pass, cut, fill. But that's also on McGregor if he's going to take the role of the point guard in that situation to call something, to ignite something in his team. That's the reason you're the point guard. It's a hard responsibility to be the point guard because everyone's going to look at you to have the ball, to move the ball around, to dribble it effectively. So hopefully they can kind of get more motion going on in this play here.
I feel like I got to do something better the way he's talking to his team. Like he's got me riled up too.
It's interesting. I think that's the thing of when you go from competing in sports to then commentating on it, you still instinctually, when you hear a coach scream, you're like, what am I doing wrong? and now you're like, wait, it's not me anymore.
Royal Crown have it on their own baseline, 5:32 remaining in the opening quarter. 4 different scorers finding the score sheet for the Lions. Meanwhile, Jacob McGregor has 4, Liam Shaw has 3 for the visiting Bill Crothers squad as we have a shot clock violation.
A lot of physicality between Ice Tome and Monroe right now, and
Liam Shaw?
Yes, thank you very much. And Liam Shaw, it's something to watch out for sure, because they're going to get each other in foul trouble if it continues.
Well, we'll see how much these officials let him get away with. There's Xavier Ice Tome and Monroe at the top side. Hazley working on the 2-man game, has the big man. Good help defense. Moses Anvari with the steal ahead to Hamilton. Hamilton takes all the way, but right there to meet him at the top, TJ Richards.
Beautiful position from Anvari. That's exactly how you have to position it, going up against someone with Ice Tome and Monroe's kind of size.
Double substitution, Mikhailo Lipka and Levi Molotowski checking in. Cairo Perry, Xavier Ice Tome and Monroe catch a quick breather. So not just the women's team here at Royal Crown with the quick substitutions and the deep bench, but the men's team as well, coached by head coach Mike DiGiorgio.
When you have the ability to use those quick substitutions, if there's not really a deficit going up against these teams, you have to use it. Give yourself to always put the freshest legs out on the floor.
Miles Hamilton takes a foul on the quick burst of speed from Hazley, tries to slow him down with his arms. And you can't do that. TJ Richards accepts the inbound pass. Hazley on the cut. Molotowski in the corner. 5 buckets made by the Lions, 4 of which come from beyond the arc. Jacob McGregor wants the isolation matchup against Hazley. Spins into the lane. Blocked at the top by Lipka. And Hazley the other way loses it. A frantic few possessions here. Left-handed finish good for McGregor, who hits the deck hard.
Push there from Lewis Foltz. Way to rush the offensive possession.
Hazley gets his defender in the air, waits, kicks it back out. Richards, far side. Molotowski again. Steps in from the three-point line. That one rims around. Lipka can't record the rebounds. Fighting through contact and traffic was McGregor. No call, play on. Hazley, left-handed side. Gets around Shaw. Nice find, good bucket. Lipka's on the board.
I think if you rush possessions, to say the least, for the Colts down low, especially, I can understand with McGregor, he's crafty, he can find space anywhere. A beautiful three from Shaw to cut me off, as he should. As he should. I mean, I'll stop talking for a shot like that. But it was a few rushed possessions for the Colts. McGregor was trying to fight through 3 Lions defenders. At that point, just kick it out and recreate something.
Hazley at the top, lack of motion over Shaw. That one off the iron, it into the hands of Anvari. McGregor takes it up. Hazley read that the whole way. He's got 2 with him. Afili for the Cookies. We saw that connection between Hazley and Afili at the Jamal Murray Homecoming Showcase. In fact, we saw Sartaj Bangu get up pretty big, too, a couple of times. The response from Hamilton for 2 from the free throw line. 18-14, it's a 4-point lead for the Lions. 2:45 remaining in the opening 10. Guarded closely, Miles Hamilton draped all over Hazley. Now it's Molotowski. Can't get past Sicanetta, so he gives it back up to Hazley. There's the screen from Afili. Lipka relocating and drills a three.
Something we mentioned is the true deciding factor of why Hazley is such a competitive point guard is his composure and his ability to do things at such a fast pace. And I think that honestly comes from performing and being able to represent Canada as a whole at the national level. Is he has the true composure to be able to play effective basketball.
Feely gets the block. Richards for three, no. Rebound Shaw. Under 2 remaining in the opening quarter. Hamilton thought about it, puts the ball to the deck, now works into the middle around the screen from Shaw. Inside the three-point line, it's a 2 for Hamilton. He's got 4 in the quarter. No one guarding Molotowski. Shaw's out a little late. Rebound, Sicanetta. He's going downhill. Left hand off glass, no good. Richards the other way. He's got 2 to beat. Molotowski just missed one, has a defender fly by. Second, no good. Lipka, second chance opportunity, and 1 for Lipka. He's got 7 with the opportunity for 8 here in the opening 10.
You could hear head coach and almost the entire bench on the Colts staff were yelling at Jacob McGregor to move. On that last possession, he was caught watching. And I can understand when you are a key playmaker, the problem is that there's a lot of pressure on you to be able to perform. And when you're not performing, the team's going to be looking at you to do so. But regardless, you can't be stagnant on defense. You can't be watching as the other team is going up for a shot.
Lipka makes it an 8-point game. He's got 8 in the frame. 1:24 remaining. Shakir Grant checked in for the Colts. So did Bieva Cabant. Class of 2027. Tough shot for Hamilton. 3 players on the board for Bill Crothers. Hamilton's got 6. McGregor's got 6. Shaw's got 6. Here's Richards doing it himself. Can't get it to go. Rebounded. Grant. Cabant pushing the pace. Slows things down as he gains the front court. Hamilton into the middle. Back to Cabant. Out of bounds. Court awareness. Zane Sicanetta. Turnover, 45.2 remaining in the opening 10. Richards turns on the Jets. Hands off Perry. Lipka now, top side. Perry on the back door, no. Foul on Sicanetta with 35.6. Had to slow down the diver there.
Still a close game, 24-18. Manageable still. I think the Colts just need to not force the unnecessary shots. They're forcing a shot where there's 3 Lions defenders. They need to just continue to rotate the ball and do not stand still on defense.
They've been doing a better job of creating motion on the offense than since that timeout. Got to guard the inbounder, Richards. Patience. Near iron, no. Rebound secured. Colts on the run. 26 seconds. Sicanetta into the lane. He's going to get the and one opportunity. Zane Sicanetta, left-handed finish. A thing of beauty.
That was a good decision. All he needed was a small burst of speed, and he already had the defender beat. So that just needs to be a little bit of a tweak, I think, for Royal Crown, is just having someone in the help side position.
Hazley checks back in. Lipka's going to hit the bench. Cairo Perry, the senior, picking up the foul on the last play. Back iron, rebound, Grant. Gets his defender in the air, it's Bangu, so Shakir Grant going to go to the free throw line for 2 and make this a 2-point, with the chance to make this a 2-point game, under 20 seconds remaining in the opening 10.
A good fake and also good composure to allow the defender to get out of position. So it was a fantastic move for Grant to give himself an option.
unable to connect on the first. Second free throw tickles the twine. It's a 3-point game in favor of the Lions. Will they hold for the last possession? Or will they take what the defense gives them? Right now, it's Hazley around the first level of defense. Going to slow it down, try and take some time off the clock. Moving downhill again. Foul on Caban.
2 hands on the dribbler.
And they're going to give him 2 shots for that.
I will say that the problem with guarding, and defense is my favorite thing. I love defense, but the problem with guarding someone who's faster than you is instinctually the only way you can kind of keep up with them is putting your hands or like a hand on their hip to kind of see where they're going, or step back and give yourself that extra space. But the problem with Hazley is
you can't give him
right?
space.
Because the second you give him space, he's either going to pass the ball off or he's going to shoot the ball. So it's a fine balance of figuring out how to position yourself most correctly.
Hazley makes 1 of 2. Two seconds left in the quarter. Shot is up and off the mark from the hands of Bieva Caban. After 10 minutes of play here at the Royal Crown Academic School Gymnasium, the Lions lead by 4. 6 players for the Lions on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, the Colts have 5. And a slow start for the Colts, but after that timeout, things definitely changed on the court.
They were caught watching a lot of the time. And I think that can kind of just come down to exhaustion, and that will come when your play style again, and this is going to be something I'll repeat myself numerous times, but both of these teams rely on that fast break effort. So when it comes with that is that when you finally get into a position where you're settled on defense, it takes you a second to kind of find your lungs and to kind of get your breath back. But that doesn't mean that because you're playing such high aggressive offense that you can fall back on defense and just watch. They can't afford to do so, especially with the game being as close as it is, 4-point margin. You need to be able to be effective on both sides. So I think that's honestly something that both teams just need to get a bit more well-equipped at, but I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing so far.
It's Mikhailo Lipka who leads all scorers in the game with 8 points. Played for the Ukrainian U18 national team. So another player who's been able to don their country's flag. Obviously, Justice Hazley has worn the red and white for Canada as well. Former Team Ontario MVP at the Canadian Nationals. And the 2024 Andrew Milner Leadership Award recipient. So not doing it just on the court, but in the hallways of the school as well. Somebody who this program it's going to be a big loss for them next year.
And I know we had obviously the pleasure of interviewing him actually during the fall showcase. And one of the key contributing factors with himself along with the other players that we interviewed, was how good people they were. Like, they were such good people off the court. Their ability to articulate, and again, it's not easy, right? Like, it's not easy to watch a sport and then articulate perfectly what you're seeing, how you're seeing it. But the way they were able to do so shows that they're taught right. They have strong coaches and a strong family presence behind them. And almost, if not all, the players fell back onto their team. Even though we were talking about their personal efforts, they said how much of it is also a team effort as well. And that's a true testament to Hazley and his training.
Caleb Zhu gets his first minutes in this game for the Lions. Foul's going to go on Shakir Grant. Getting too close to Xavier Ace Tolman Monroe. So you've got to be physical with the 7-footer. Over the top. Afili. Ball swatted loose, but Jalen Sang-Pinnock, number 2 in black, got some of Afili's arm as well. 2 quick fouls to start the second quarter for the Colts. Can't send the Lions to the line. They'll make you pay.
Every time.
Hey, 1 foot in. What?
Nice Tolman Monroe now to Hazley, the 2-man game. Good patience for Ice Pullman Monroe, but Shakir Grant gets his second foul in 30 seconds. 3 team fouls, and Ice Pullman Monroe will head to the free throw line.
Not a slow start for him because he's kind of just finding his footing, but when you have such a tall presence on the other team, your first thought is you have to kind of ice him. You have to put him in a position where he's ineffective. But this is the first time we're actually seeing him make a drive to the net. But I think in terms of the success for Royal Crown, they need to have him as a reliable option down low.
Makes the first, mixes the second. Foul on Caleb Zhu, going for the offensive rebound. And now we get our first look at the Colts offense here in the second quarter. Vieva Cabant putting the moves on Bangu. Throwing the ball to the corner, but Jalen Sang Pinnock had vacated that space to move up to the wing. So miscommunication leads to a turnover. 1 offensive possession, 1 turnover for the Colts. Hazley with the handoff to Zhu. Back cut, Hazley. Oh, what a thing of beauty. Left-handed lay-in, Justice Hazley from Xavier Ice Tolman Monroe. Credit Caleb Zhu for the hockey assist. There's Cabant, far side. Sang Pinnock through Kurtzins. And 1 opportunity for Sang Pinnock.
As soon as Ice Tolman Monroe jumped and went in the air, he took himself completely out of the play. With someone of his height, all you have to do is just remain standing. Stand straight up, ready to block, and you got to be ready to go.
The old-fashioned 3-point play off the iron and into the hands of Ice Tolman Monroe. It's a 5-point game, under 9 remaining. Xavier Ice Tolman Monroe trying to break the backboard. Fouled on the way up, so he'll go back to the free throw line where he was just 50%. And Vieva Cabant picks up his second.
I know we didn't touch on it, but at the beginning of the game, the refs are very particular about you can't wear T-shirts. It has to be an athletic material shirt. And every single jersey has to be tucked in, which I will say I'm very pleased by.
I don't understand what these players have against tucking in your jersey.
I agree.
Like, if it comes out in the play because you're hustling, whatever. But it's, I mean,
it becomes a style where people just kind of have their jerseys hanging. But in my mind, it gives a player an option to grab onto my jersey and hold me down, right? So I'm a full fan of tucking jerseys.
Sang Pinnock, nothing baseline, so swings it back out. And Vari, near side wing, no, off the mark from McGregor. Hazley head up, moving into the middle of the paint. Beautiful display of dribbling. Liam Shaw with the rebound. Here's Cabant. 3-on-2. Nothing there, so Cabant dribbles it out, working on Cairo Perry. Shot for 3. He's hit 2 already. That one's off the mark. Defensive rebound, Hazley trying to slow things down. Want a half-court set. Monroe working on Shaw.
Get over it.
2-man game, nothing happening. Cairo Perry, handoff. Bangu inside. Caleb Zhu using his frame to get to the rim and gets one to go. Caleb Zhu's on the board.
The Colts just need to be a bit more effective on slipping the screens because Royal Crown is notorious for just doing screen after screen after screen. And switching all the time is exactly what they want because then it results in the final player getting wide open. So they have to get themselves in a better position just to slip the screen.
Good first step by Moses Zanvari to get by Zhu and get to the rack for 2. Hazley gets the friendly bounce.
Good follow by Ice Tolman Monroe as well.
You can see him say, I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. Vieva Cabant for 3. Off the iron. Cairo Perry secures the board and pushing the pace again. Here come the Lions. Hazley gets it on the wing. And Coach Mike DiGiorgio of Royal Crown wants a timeout. It's a 9-point lead And a lot happened in that first minute. A couple turnovers, 3 fouls, and then a turnover on the offensive end for the Colts. They've since been able to take care of the ball a little bit more.
I think it's also, even on offense now, the Colts are getting very stagnant. They're not moving the ball as we're used to seeing. The defensive presence, and it's interesting because we said at the beginning, obviously the battle of the point guards. I think that Hazley is doing a much better job at being the facilitator for his team. McGregor is being caught watching multiple times, whether it be not be or being too much on his man and not in the help side, which again is not helping your team, because if there's a drive to the net, you're not where you're supposed to be, or whether that's being too lackadaisical on offense, where you do your one drive attempt and then you kind of pull back. So I think in terms of the head-to-head battle right now, Hazley is just leading his team a bit more effectively.
Well, when he brings the ball up the court, there's two modes. It's we're moving, and it's transition, or he makes you think like they're going to move in transition, and then as soon as he gains the front court, he slows down and gets set in that half-court offense. And this team has a lot of great half-court sets, whether that be the two-person game. You see the three-person screen, the screener a couple of times, a lot of off-ball movement. And he gives the ball up just to get it back, then to give it up again. He is an absolute Swiss Army knife of a basketball player, and so fun to watch.
And that's exactly the reason why Royal Crown is leading in this game right now, is exactly like you mentioned, JJ. It's they're not secondary, but it's the third movement off the ball that they're doing so effectively that it's allowing the Colts to get caught watching.
What did he do?
Bangu makes a move to the basket. They're going to erase the basket. Fouls on the floor. Miles Hamilton picks up his second.
There's a warning for the bench on the Colts. I believe it was due to the assistant coaches stepping up out of the box. We're only allowed to have one coach, kind of the head coach at the time, or at least one coach just stepping up. So
Bangu off the mark. Rebound corralled by the Colts. Miles Hamilton now. Guarded by Cairo Perry in his senior year. Liam Shaw fakes three, moves into the paint. Stepping, corner, McGregor. McGregor on Hazley, he wants a screen. Here it comes. Gives it up. Hamilton threes. Bottoms at the buzzer of the shot clock.
again, they use the clock, but they use it effectively. It was a fantastic rotation. We haven't seen that in a minute here from the Colts.
Bangu and Hazley playing give and go. Nice Tolman Monroe, extra pass. Caleb Shue, two-handed jam.
That was a fantastic look. Hazley to Ice Tolman Monroe, but again, over to Caleb Shue for the extra pass that was not expected.
Hamilton pulls up from the free throw line, can't get it to go. Bangu has it, the handoff to Hazley. Stepping into a three, that's off the mark. Shue gets the rebound, got to go back up. Uses the big board. That's how you play big man basketball. .540 remaining in the second quarter. It's a 10-point game. Here's McGregor to the left. Inside the paint, floater from the mid-range. No, gets his own rebound. Kicks it out. Hamilton three. Back of the iron. Ice Tolman Monroe. Rebound ahead. Hazley. Now he waits for some teammates in the front court. Zhu gets it on the block. Looking for Xavier Ice Tolman Monroe. Can't get the bunny to go. Gets his own rebound and doesn't miss on the second chance opportunity. Stevens hands it off to Hamilton. Poking and prodding, nothing there. Here's Shaw. He can shoot it from three. That one misses everything.
It was a good shot. It was a good release. The problem is he came so hard off the screen that naturally his body was moving to the left a little bit as he was shooting it. So it's almost natural that the ball is kind of going to follow where your hands go.
Yana Feely, Mikhailo Lipka, and Levi Molitowski checking in for the Lions. Lipka's got 8 points. Hazley's got 8 points. Yeah, Justice Hazley wrapped his arm around Josh Stevens to get the advantage. So he'll pick up another, his first. Here's McGregor working on Hazley. The side clears out. Screened by Liam Shaw. Stevens into the paint. Afili ahead of everyone. And that's emphatic. Stevens trying to get back, not there in time. Good ball handling skills here shown off by McGregor into the paint. A foul is called on the push. Tyrell Perry picks up his second. McGregor, 6 made threes in that loss to William Academy on October 26. He gets the 2 and 1 for 3-point opportunity. That foul going to go on Yana Feely.
Colts right now are collecting themselves on the floor. Just do a little bit of a huddle, regroup. Trying to regain themselves here a little bit as we head into the final 4 minutes of the first half.
Well, it's going to happen on the defense end. Hamilton slowed down by Hazley, blocked at the turf by Afili. And now it's Afili the other way. Molotowski's in the corner. Hot pass. They're going to have to reset at the top. 15 seconds on the shot clock. It's Hazley. Guarded by Stevens. Afili now. First move, quick. Scoop, score. That's too strong. Here come the Colts. Stevens thought about it. Puts it on the deck. Blow by. Shot from deep. Yes.
Beautiful composure there from Shaw to not allow himself to fall in love with the first option, to give yourself a good second.
Hazley trying to Euro step with the left. No, Perry there for the rebound. Creating space. Can't get the second chance to go. Hamilton, everybody's backpedaling, and Hamilton just walks into the ball. So the Colts come up with a stop of sorts defensively, and now they have a chance offensively. Opportunity. Here comes McGregor. And that run by the Colts gets Mike DiGiorgio to call a timeout. It's a 6-point game. It's been a back-and-forth contest, and it is a game of runs.
It's a game of fast-paced basketball, that's for sure, but it's also not even giving either team enough time to truly be too complacent because, again, we know that there's a strong focus right now on the disagreements on the terms of some calls that the refs are making.
And I want to say we agree with the refs.
Yes.
You and I.
1,000%.
Just in case they watch this back.
I 1,000% agree with the calls they're making on the floor. The problem is, and where I've always disagreed when players focus so much on the calls that they allow themselves to be taken out of the play.
Wasted energy, exactly. I like to say.
Right? It doesn't matter what calls are being made, what calls aren't being made. Fight through it and trust that if your coach is seeing it as a true problem, they will address it for you.
So we mentioned Xavier Ice-Tolman Monroe, the senior coming over from Australia to play his senior year of basketball. When he won the high school championship back home, he averaged 16.7 points, just over 11 rebounds, and nearly 3 blocks per game. He hasn't been able to put those numbers up here in the OSBA, where the competition is a little more stiff, and obviously he and Justice Hazley are at the top of every team's scouting report. So he's going to have to work, to find those numbers again. And of course, early in the season, still developing that chemistry, still getting, trying to get some confidence from the coaching staff.
It's also a different play style, right? Because the Australian League, as competitive as it is, a lot of the men that are in the NBL are there because they've either tried their luck of going to the NBA and they're either a few years outside of it, or they're looking to still remain into some competitive basketball. Because again, it is competitive. It's just a different kind of play style, right? We saw success stories with LaMelo Ball. He went to the Illawarra Hawks, then transitioned into the NBA. So there is success stories, but now with Ishmael Monroe putting himself at maybe a better situation, playing here and then looking to see for future prospects. So he's looking at the best training option he has here is Royal Crown.
Feely gets it with 5 on the shot clock, working on Shaw into the paint, coughs it up, and another turnover. Here come the Colts. Off the backboard, no second chance opportunity for Stevens, doesn't go. 2 white jerseys fighting for it. Feely comes away with it. TJ Richards into the corner. Molotowski stepping out of bounds before putting the rock to the deck. So 2 straight possessions leading to turnovers for the Lions. Second chance opportunity for the Colts, not falling.
We're seeing that McGregor's a bit silent right now in this game. Like he'll have moments where he'll drive to the net and he'll have his spurts, but I know that you and I are expecting him to be a lot more physical, a lot more aggressive going to the net, to say the least.
Hasn't hit a 3 in this contest. The fade away from the baseline, no good. Stevens with the shot attempt and the foul. Mikhailo Lipka foul. First foul of the game. Josh Stevens to the free throw line. Caleb Zhu going to check back in. Number 22 in white. Paisley takes a seat. So a little bit, some size given up here by the Lions with just Caleb Zhu playing big. I mean, Feely can get up, so can Richards.
Also have a bit of a shift in the point guard position. We're going to see someone else bring the ball up. My guess is it might be Feely, but I guess we'll see after this free throw.
An 0 for 2 trip from the line, and it's going to be TJ Richards bringing the ball up the court, guarded closely there by Stevens. Molotowski battling. Hamilton gets his 3rd foul. Stevens heads to the bench as Zane Sicanetta checks back in alongside Bieva Cabant. So with that 3rd foul, Hamilton's going to head to the bench. 1:54 remaining in the opening half. It's funny, we see there's obviously a high stakes, fiercely competitive game, but you see Bieva Cabant just dabbing up Mike DeGiorgio there. Earlier, it was Hazley dabbing up the Bill Crothers head coach. There's a lot of connection in this community, and that's what I love about OSBA basketball.
It's interesting, too. There's no friends in basketball. You can have it out off the floor, but on the floor, you have to be committed to you're going hard against each other. And
Yana Feely picks up his 2nd. Good offensive possession there for McGregor. Doesn't take too much time off the clock. Works around the screen and then tries to get a jimmy from just inside the 3-point line.
A lot of unnecessary fouls are happening right now.
So McGregor with a chance to add to the lead with the clock stopped from the free throw line. This is the 2nd. It remains a 6-point game. Here's TJ Richards. Sartaj Bangu working around the screen in the corner. Richards gets his defender in the air. Bangu now, near side wing. 1 bounce, throws it up. Iron, no. McGregor's going to push the pace. Pulls from 3. 15 points now, Jacob McGregor.
Good split-second decision.
Bieva Cabant picks up his 3rd, so he joins Miles Hamilton in the 3-foul club in the first half. TJ Richards at the line, back iron and out. 0 for 2 from the trip. It's an empty trip to the charity stripe. And here comes McGregor. Euro stick. Can it finish late on the contest was Bengu. 17 points in the opening half for Jacob McGregor. He's lifting this Colts team and keeping them in this game. Lipka, hands off. Richards thought about it. Behind the back now, into the paint. Has Molotowski in the far corner, no hesitation. Rebound, collected by Zhu. Fakes the up, gets closer, and knocks down the bunny.
The entire play there, Jacob McGregor was standing just off to the left-hand side watching the entire play. Coach literally yells at him and says, Jacob, are you going to do something? Hopefully
Here he
you
is
do something
now.
Right?
Kick out. Shot's too short. Zhu tries to save it, but his foot was last touching out of bounds. Zane Sicanetta, the missed three-point chance. It's a one-possession game, 9.2 remaining in the half. Bill Crothers wants a timeout. They want to draw something up, make sure everybody's on the same page. 9.2, a lot of time from an inbound play. You can swing, find somebody in the middle, try and clear out for the two-man game, but what's really been working for them is Jacob McGregor on the offensive side.
Yes. I think he would be the obvious choice, but maybe it's so on the nose that you just have to give it to him because he's been the most consistent person from beyond the arc so far for the Colts. If I were to draw up an inbound play for them right now, it'll be this. Because we've seen that there's a trend where a lot of players seem to forget the inbounder, I would put McGregor at the top of the line, have him kick out to the left, accept the ball, and give it right back to the inbound.
You got to guard the inbounder. (45-42), the Lions lead on their home court in what's been a very good opening half for both sides. Slow start for the Colts, but after that first time out, it's been uphill the entire way. So Bieva Cabant is going to have it on the baseline. Liam Shaw is in. Zane Sicanetta is in. Jacob McGregor is in. And Moses Anvari, the 6'7" small forward in his senior year, is in. He was player of the game in the North Pole Hoops Season 6 Session 2 weekend. 18 points, 4 boards, and a +16 in the game. So don't count him out to be a contributing factor here to end the half. The long ball, and it's into Anvari. But they leave time on the clock for the Lions. 2 seconds left. Hazley from 3. Moving from left to right, maybe a little bit of contact. But just as Hazley ends the opening half with 11 points on a tough made 3, Lions up 4.
I gotta say, that was really good. I mean, okay, off of the inbound to Anvari, the throw up, that was a fantastic play. When you have a lot of players who are so focused on what's happening on the court, lob it up, give them the best opportunity. But for Hazley, yeah, I got nothing. That was a fantastic drive from Hazley. I didn't think it was going in. That was a beautiful shot.
So it's a 4-point lead, 10 minutes on the clock for the halftime. We'll be back with more action here from the Royal Crown Academic School Gymnasium on this, the Tuesday doubleheader of the OSBA East Division Showdown. Stick with us. It was Justice Hazley's 3-point at the expiration of the second quarter shot clock that has the Lions up 48-44 here in this OSBA Eastern Conference showdown. He's got 11 in the game, but leading all scorers is Jacob McGregor from Bill Crothers with 17 points. But Miles Hamilton, Bieva Caban, 3 fouls apiece, so they're going to have to stay, disciplined on the defensive end. They get the first look on the offensive side here to start the second half. And it is McGregor, floater, no good. Xavier Ice Tillman Monroe snatches the board. Sartaj Bangu, Ice Tillman Monroe, Justice Hazley near side wing, guarded by McGregor. Tyrell Perry sets the screen. Sartaj Bangu gets the defender in the air. It's two-handed slam and a technical foul for hanging on the rim a second too late.
Maybe they called.
He pulled.
I was gonna say that. I think it's because he pulled himself back up. Beautiful dunk though. Beautiful play.
As soon as he got his defender in the air, you knew that lane opened up, and the technical free throw is good from Miles Hamilton. But that lane, he was not stopping. There was no stopping him there. And to finish with two hands, big time. Liam Shaw steps in. That one's off the back of the iron. Hazley with the rebound. Bangu corrals the pass, then has to kick it back out to a Feely. Extra pass to Perry in the paint. Blocked at the top. Ice Tillman Monroe off the backboard. No. Unable to save it was a Feely. So Bill Crothers get it on their own baseline. It's a 5-point game. Here goes McGregor with a full head of steam off the backboard, running into his own teammate. Foul up top as well. 2 fouls, one a technical, the other going to go on Yana Feely, his third of the game. McGregor slow to get to his feet, but looks like he'll be all right.
We also see Moses limping a little bit there as well.
Yeah, he ran into the back legs of Moses Anvari. Stretching out that knee and that right quad. Richards misses the first. Makes the second. Horns action here from the Lions. Nice Tillman Monroe handoff. Hazley. Good defense by the Colts. So Feely keeping the whole way. Cairo Perry. Hazley's got way too much time. That's off the front of the iron. Feely over everybody for the rebound. Shoulder down, backboard, and in. Yana Feely doing work down low. McGregor kicks it out. Far side, shot. Picks up the dribble. 9 seconds on the shot clock. And Vari, floater no. Feely can just, the way he jumps,
he soars through the air.
His shoulders go above the orange rim. Easy bucket there on transition from Miles Hamilton. Hazley waves off Ice Tillman Monroe, wants to work on Shaw. Side steps to the right, off the left of the iron, and Vari with the rebound ahead of everybody is Shaw. After contesting that Hazley three, Shaw stuck in the air, can't convert. Hazley's presence was enough to deter the shot. Ice Tillman Monroe, two-handed jam. Sees his friends getting in on the party. Wants to throw it down. The backboard still rattling, but yet another technical foul. And I bet you everybody's going to be hesitant to dunk for the rest of this game. Head coach Mike DiGiorgio pointing out the fact that he's 7 foot, not necessarily known for being nimble. And he's not wrong.
You know.
That's a lot of weight and a lot of size on that rim.
The rim's naturally going to come down with him.
The backboard's still shaking.
One of the big negative factors that's really coming from the Colts bench right now is McGregor on both sides of the floor is walking. We're not seeing him really show any kind of aggression. Moses and Vari, same thing. We saw last time Shaw had a layup that he missed, but no one was there to get the rebound because everybody was just relaxing on offense.
Yana Feely gets the blank on the defensive end, then rewarded with the hit on the offensive end. 7 points in the game for Yana Feely. And here's Hamilton, guarded by Perry. Hamilton to the right, gets around a set of screens, loses the handle. Gives it up to Josh Stevens. Six-point game. Lions lead. But the Colts are knocking on the door. Hazley on the ground. Ball's moving around the perimeter. Feely looking for somebody. It's Perry, top side. Off the iron. Feely. Xavier Rice, Berkman Monroe with the rebound and the putback. 9 points for the big man.
Shaw did the best he could, but in that situation, you have to just box him out more. Like, push him towards the foul line if you have to.
Hamilton working on Hazley. Gets a lift of separation, so pulls the three off the front of the iron. Ice Tolman Monroe swallows up the long rebound, gives it up to Feely. Feely turns on the Jets. Euro stepping in. Right-handed finish. That is a thing of beauty.
He saw the pocket, had a little burst of speed. Feely, fantastic.
A little burst of speed. He had Nos in the trunk.
The only reason I say a little is because I have seen him go faster at times, but that was a fantastic composure on his part.
Jan Nos in the trunk of Feely. Running like a cheetah. Looks like a lion, sprints like a cheetah.
I see what you did there. You know what, JJ, I'm going to ask you because I haven't had the opportunity to just yet. When you look at the key plays that are truly leading to Royal Crown success, what is probably the top one for you?
When they're out on the run and then Bill Crothers' defense is scrambling to find their matchups. The way that Royal Crown plays is a burst of speed, right? A couple of quick transition offensive looks and then slowing it down. Being methodical, two-man game, pushing the ball around the perimeter, really taking what the defense gives them, but they set themselves up to do that by changing what they do offensively, every second or third time down the court.
And now what about for the Colts? What do you I know it's hard because they're down 10 points, but what are you really looking to see from them?
I want to see them crash the glass, the offensive glass. I know it's tough when you got guys like Caleb Zhu and Xavier Rice, Tolman Monroe, and of course Yana Feely jumping above everybody else. But getting second chance opportunities here now, stuck 10. It's good. It could be the difference maker in this contest. Will Bill Crothers improve to above 500, or will Royal Crown continue to remain undefeated? 5.10 left in the third. Block by Zhu is erased on a foul called on T.J. Richards. McGregor misses. I know you're keeping track here.
We're at a solid 7 right now. 8.
At what stage of basketball do missed free throws, become a reason that maybe a scout, overlooks you?
I would say that was beautiful, over-the-top play.
Jump stop, one bounce. Feely's up to 11. Continue.
I was going to say at any age it's not acceptable. I mean, maybe we'll start at U12.
Okay.
Is kind of the age where I think you should start making it more consistently. I mean, I shared my horror story of where my rep coach said that we hadn't made a free throw all game, and so she called a timeout just to make us run a suicide. I don't think that would really happen at these leagues nowadays, but I mean, it worked. It was effective. We didn't do it again.
Feely back iron. Richards there to follow. Ball hit the iron, then the stanchion, so out of bounds called. What was a one-possession game is now a 12-point lead, 4:16 remaining in the third quarter. Who's going to step up for Bills? Try and turn the tide. Miles Hamilton, 3 fouls over the timeline, guarded closely by Favorite and Kemka. The first minutes we're seeing from him tonight. And court awareness stepping out of bounds, Zane Sicanetta. He did that in the first half as well on the other side.
That started with fantastic effort on defense. Also, fantastic communication coming from the bench for Royal Crown. When you have a bench hyping you up when you're on the floor, it just adds almost like another player is out there with you.
They're really draping off. Caleb shoot, just too easy with a two-handed flush. No technical foul on that one. He knew to let go right away.
It was almost like quick release.
McGregor kicks it far side. Hamilton working baseline on Nkemka. Hesitates, gets the bunny to go. Colts need a stop. Defense leading to offense. Richards. Here's Hazley from the near side. Yes. Hazley's up to 14 in the game. As McGregor heads downhill, left-handed block by Zhu. Good timing. Cairo Perry checks back in. Yana Feely going to catch a breather. Moses Anvari into the paint. Spin arounds. Tries to get closer. That's off the front of the iron. Rebound tapped to Cairo Perry. He's got Favorite and Kemka. Loses the dribble, but saves it before it goes out of bounds. Bounce pass. Cairo Perry. Contact on the arm. Moses Anvari is going to take the foul, his first of the game. Another substitution forced. Sartaj Bangu checks in as Favorite and Kemka needs to change his undergarments, and Cairo Perry drills the first of 2 free throws.
I know it can be tedious to some players, but the refs are doing it for the players' safety. They don't want jerseys to kind of get grabbed or ripped or in a position where they could be, so player safety is number one responsibility.
It's a 15-point. It's a 17-point game now. Off glass, no. Bangu collects the rebound. Traipsing down the middle of the floor. Referees are going to talk about this one. Foul on Hamilton, his 4th. And Bangu's to the free throw line for 2. Bangu's got 2 points in this half. Looking for his third. Couple of chances from the charity stripe. He goes 0 for 2. That's an over the back. Heavy foul. Body's falling hard. Caleb Zhu. It's his second. You felt the floor shake on that. Full court press for the Lions. Making it hard for McGregor to get the ball. Bieva Cabant on the near side. Here's Jacob McGregor. That one swatted away by Faber and Kemka. Here's TJ Richards. Lays it in. He wasn't close enough to throw that down. Faber and Kemka causing some trouble. Gets around the first level. Takes left-handed off the board. Hits. And Faber and Kemka is on the board.
You know what? Maybe the shirt was restricting him. Maybe the undershirt was too.
He should thank the refs, actually.
That was an immediate 4-point play he was handed.
73-52, 21-point lead. Now the Lions have the most recent run. That mid-range off the mark from the hands of Envari. And here comes Cairo Perry. Hand off. Kemka thought about it. Now trying to put the moves on Sicanetta. Sicanetta knocks it out of bounds. Lipka has it, gives it up to Richards, working around the screen. Perry into the paint, up and under, no second chance. Around the world, no. And the Colts able to slow things down. We're under a minute to play in the third quarter. McGregor calling out the motions. On the near side, it's a double screen up top. Sicanetta, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Mid-range Jimmy, front iron, no. Zhu knocks it to Nkemka. It's still loose on the ground. Believe it's going to be a jump ball. Possession favoring Royal Crown.
There wasn't really anything going on there for the Colts. I mean, they didn't really try any kind of like rotation, pass cut fill, like screen even. Like there wasn't anything truly going on. It's like they just kind of dribbled it out and waited for the clock to almost expire, then they jacked up a shot. So I don't know. I hope that they're not falling back onto bad habits.
TJ Richards working baseline. Good hang time, doesn't get it to go. Shakir Grant gets the rebound. Sicanetta into the body. Off the backboard, no. Favorite and Kemka. Going to slow things down, and the Lions want the final shot of the third quarter. Richards almost stripped by Cabant. Now putting the moves on him. Left, right from the elbow. Blocked from behind by Cabant. Good defense. And the fastball nowhere near the rim. 73-52. 21-point lead for the Lions after 30 minutes of play. Put 10 more on the clock before the final buzzer goes. And that quarter was all Royal Crown. And a lot of it was Yana Feely.
There's two things that I think both teams could kind of work on. So we'll start with Royal Crown. The first thing is I don't want them to get so complacent on offense where they just have their one tried true thing that they know works. I would love to see them kind of shake up and do a little bit of a full play rotation. I know obviously they have the offensive rush, they have that, but with such a lead that you have right now, use that to your advantage. Allow yourself to kind of play smart basketball and allow yourself to get settled in a rotation, because there's going to come a game where you're going to be a lot closer and we're going to be in the fourth quarter, and you just need to be able to rely on those plays. So that's just a little tweak. Another thing I do want to see them is try to eliminate yourself getting into foul trouble. It's hard. Sometimes it's inevitable and you're going to get given a foul, but
allow yourself to maybe be a step back on defense if you know you're not as fast as the offensive player, or to hedge the gaps a bit better, so that way instead of the player jumping around a screen and already being a step behind, you can just give your teammate an extra second to get into a better position. For the Colts, there's a lot of walking on offense and defense. And I know, JJ, you said one of your main points is for them to crash the boards. I haven't seen them do that at all. I truly think that that's a key part of their game that they're missing right now, is they're putting in such effort. We can see that on the floor. With the effort the guys are putting out, it should be a lot closer than what the score is showing. And that's honestly because they're not crashing the boards effectively. So they need to do that. They need to be better effective on the boards.
And if you're not going to crash the offensive board, you should be back on defense, and that takes away the strength of the Lions to be out and on the run.
Exactly.
The fourth quarter's underway. Diego Cabant near side working on Perry. A little bit of miscommunication here. Neither of the options Cabant was looking for were open. He pulls up from the free throw line, but it's Cairo Perry who secures the rebound. And again, the Lions have numbers, slowing it down though. Here's Yana Feely and TJ Richards playing catch. We just saw this matchup. Cabant won the last time these two went up against each other with the block at the top. Molotowski gives it up. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Zane Sicanetta called for the foul. Liam Shaw checks back in. Drilled 2 threes in the opening 10 minutes. Hasn't been much effective for the rest of this game.
I don't want to say that. I mean, he's a tall guy, but it's almost like he doesn't really have an inside presence. At least, and to be fair, it's kind of hard to show that against a team that does have similar stature that Royal Crown does. But you have to have the ability to play on both sides of the floor, and I would love to see him use his height a bit more.
Lipka with a 50% trip to the charity stripe. Increases the lead to 22. Here's McGregor to the rack. Off the floor, in through. 20 points for McGregor.
It's so interesting because seeing him play right now, with the amount that he's walking, it's like he has to play extra hard in order to get those 20 points. Because again, I'm not taking anything away from him. He's a crafty player. He's able to get himself into the right positions, but he walks too much. If he's able to take that out of his game, again, here we go with a beautiful pull-up shot. If he's able to take out the watching aspect of his game, he's going to be 10 times better than he already is.
Cabant picks up Richards. Perry takes it. Hand off Molotowski. Right back to Richards. Top side. Thought about it. Hand in the face. Into the corner. Afili back to Richards. Top side. 3 front iron. Rebound secured by the Colts. Cabant over the timeline. Working on Afili. Jacob McGregor has gone 3 of 3 in the last 3 offensive trips for Bill Crothers. He's got 25 on the game, and he has been demanding the ball on the offensive side. But the Colts just need some stats on the defensive end. Molotowski drains it. And that kind of sucks up the energy of the good recent offensive possession. McGregor, far side, around the first screen. And again, drains the mid-range. Extra pass underneath. Knocked loose. Cabant wants it. Cairo Perry snatches it. Molotowski can't corral it. Josh Stevens gives it up to McGregor for 3. That's off the mark. Shaw can't corral it. Molotowski thought about it, but a little far. Three fresh legs for the Lions. It's Justice Hazley, Xavier Ice Tolman, Monroe Sartaj, Bangu. And one pair of fresh legs in Jalen Sang-Pinnock for Bill Crothers. Here's Hazley, 6:50 left in the game. Lions lead by 16. Afili. Ice Tolman Monroe. Hazley has no one near him. Pulls the three front iron. Stevens with the rebound. McGregor, class of 2026, has one more year to develop here in Ontario if he chooses to stay. Liam Shaw off the back of the iron. Saved. Stevens takes it himself. Blocked at the top by Afili, who can get up with the best of them. Here he is on the run. From behind, though, Stevens knocked it loose. Jacob McGregor, Liam Shaw waits maybe a little too long, but fouled in the act of shooting, so he'll go to the free throw line. Foul on Perry, that's his third. And Mike DeGiorgio is going to call a timeout, try and stop a little bit of this bleeding, which was a 22-point lead at one point, is now down to 16. So manageable with 6 minutes left.
Which, in a way, it has a lot to do with McGregor and his ability to knock down those threes in the crucial minutes here. But, again, an effective timeout for Royal Crown, because they're going to, if they continue to foul, they're going to allow themselves to get into a position where the Colts just have an easier time to get back into the game, especially if they get into foul trouble, and every other foul up until that, or after that point, is just going to send them to the line. So it was a good foul or good timeout to take. Allow your team to kind of just reset a little bit. But just because the Colts are now rushing because they have to doesn't mean that Royal Crown has to do the same thing. Which, if I had to guess, that's a lot of what the coach is going to be saying right now is don't push the ball if you don't have to. Don't rush if you don't have to. And head coach Mike DeGiorgio, he's a very smart guy. As we know, his lineage in coaching is extensive. So he has the experience to be able to coach guys into a position where they can be successful. So they just have to trust that. They have to trust the system and not be forced into a rushing situation just because the other team is doing so.
So Liam Shaw's at the line for two. And the Colts, you can see 0 of them in the offensive end. That's because everybody but Liam Shaw is back getting ready on defense. The emphasis clearly on that end of the court for the Colts. Shaw drills the second. Hazley given time and space. Now Stevens gets up close to him. Hazley gets around. Contact with Shaw. Second chance opportunity. Hazley gets the two. And that takes a lot of athleticism to go in there, come away with that rebound, and then get the second chance opportunity. Now playing tight defense. Good find. Patience. Shaw up the glass and in.
Beautiful patience there from Shaw, especially the patience to give yourself a better opportunity.
Credit the assist to Jalen Sang-Pinnock. And we got a hold on Josh Stevens. Afili, far side attacking baseline. And another foul on Bill Crothers. That's going to go on Anvari. It's his second. Xavier Ice Tolman Monroe trying to find Jan Afili. Afili was coming in. Monroe was throwing it to the wing.
Miscommunication for sure. We don't really see them making too many mistakes on offense like that, so best believe it probably won't happen.
Here's McGregor over the timeline. Uses the screen by Stevens. Shaw gets his defender in the air. Step back three. That nearly hits the tiles on the ceiling. Rebound corralled by Sartaj Bangu, and it's Hazley. Crossover. 1-2 stepping, looking for somebody, anybody. A trailer crashing the glass, and no one is left outside the arc.
I think the problem is Ice Toman just thought it was for someone behind him, and so he didn't go for it, and then nobody went for it, and it just kind of went all the way out of bounds.
From 16, it is down to 15, the lead. 4:46 remaining in the fourth quarter here at the Royal Crown Academic School Gymnasium. The OSBA Eastern Conference Showdown between the Lions and the Colts. Here's McGregor trying to put the moves on TJ Richards. Off the backboard into the hands of Hazley. Out above everybody is Sartosh Bangu. Holding on to the rim that time.
Quick that time. Quick release.
Miles Hamilton didn't pull the trigger. Now it's Bieva Cabant working on Bangu. Tough shot. Doesn't get the roll. Hazley again, and here come the Lions. The last bucket, one in transition. Could this next one be? No, the Colts get back in time. Xavier Ice Tolman Monroe, given space to work with, gives it up. TJ Richards, back iron, shot with the rebound. Quickly to McGregor. Under 4 minutes remaining. McGregor trying to put the moves on Richards. Here's 3 is up off the iron. Rebound good, and Vari. McGregor's turn to put up a 3, and he makes it. McGregor, 30 points in the game, but his team stuck 14.
They're doing great on offense. The problem is they're not getting a stop on defense to make it effective, right? Like every single time, again.
Nice block there on the big man. Moses Anvari gets up. Good find by Hazley.
Oh, for sure. But that's honestly case in point, right? Like every single time the Colts go on offense and they do their due diligence and they get a basket, they head down on defense. But Hazley is just so good at finding these open men. And Royal Crown is just able to slowly chip away at their lead that they already have.
Here's Hazley. Working in space. Monroe, another slam. He is vicious on those rims.
Mike DeGiorgio is pleading to the ref to say that's a foul. If they swing his arm down, doesn't matter if he's 7 foot tall, give the guy the call.
Bieva Cabant, nice patient find on the big cut. Moses Anvari gets 2. Seems to be the story of the game for both of these games for Royal Crown is the depth of their squads. Patience by Hazley. Wow.
And that's true composure.
The response by Cabant, his first 2 points of the game. 10 scores for Royal Crown to 7 for Bill Crothers, led by 30 from Jacob McGregor. Here's Hazley at the top, under 2 minutes to play. Ice Tolman Monroe on the roll, gets the nice finger roll finish as we get a substitution.
Just under 2 minutes to play now. Royal Crown leads this game 87-71, 16-point difference. Still within reach, I'd say, but the problem is they need to start getting a stop on defense.
Bieva Cabant to the left, into the corner, working down on the baseline, having some trouble with Zane Sicanetta up top. Hamilton off the mark. Here's Hazley, double teamed. Got to get it over the timeline. And it's TJ Richards who does. Sartosh Bangu for 3 off the iron. He's going to get his own rebound. Long rebound. Hazley calls up Zhu. Uses the screen. Zhu's on the roll. Keeps, and that's going to be a travel. Hazley knew it. Wanted to give it up to Zhu. It just wasn't there.
He tried, but the problem was that as soon as he tried to correct himself, his feet were already touching the ground.
Ball is in. Hazley's not paying attention. And right down Young Street is Jacob McGregor. Cordell Diaz checks in, formerly of Orangeville Prep. Class of 2027. Here's Zhu. Double teamed, working tight in paint. They're not going to count the basket because it's a travel. Caleb Zhu forgot to pack the bags. Vieva Cabant nearly stripped, kicks it back out. McGregor putting the moves on Hazley. Nice pass inside. And Vari again down low. Hazley moving quick, picking it up. Here's Diaz for three. That's off the iron. Jukes the rebound, goes right back up. And that time he's fouled with a hit to the side of the head. And Vari picks up his third of the game. 27 seconds remaining, 87-75, 12-point game. Lions lead. Zhu at the line. Gets the bounce and the roll.
Getting to the end of this game here, there's a total of 8 missed free throws for Bill Crothers and a total of 9 for Royal Crowns.
Now you can't expect them to be perfect, but a couple here, a couple there, and it's a closer game. And it changes the way you end that game. 3-second difference, game clock, shot clock. Here's Jacob McGregor working on Hazley. Gets the bucket to go. He's got 34. So he might be the purest scorer in the OSBA at this moment in time. But Bill Crothers comes up with the loss, and the Royal Crown Lions remain undefeated. It's a full win for the Lions here on their home court this Tuesday in the Eastern Conference Showdown. This one a little closer than the one at 5 o'clock, but a couple of things to work on from both sides. 4-0 is the two-time defending champion Royal Crown. Bill Crothers fall to 1-2. They started the season with a win over Jay Addison, but lost a close one to William. Lost a close one here to Royal Crown. That's got to give them some sort of confidence that they're competing with the top of the division.
Well, and that's what I'm going to say. Like, it comes down to just minor tweaking. It's not like they absolutely cleared them out. It was a close game at the beginning. It's just Royal Crown is just a bit more disciplined on defense that allowed them to kind of accentuate this lead here and grab them the win today.
For everybody here at OSBA TV, we appreciate you tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday nights. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next game of the week.